Okay, so we will start on our back in constructive rest. And if you like just that ease of transition, having your props set up and everything, place your yoga strap or your TheraBand kind of near the front end of your mat. We won't start with it, but then we'll get to it eventually. So once you've got your prop in place and set up for later, take a second to come down onto your back. Constructive rest, if that's comfortable for you. Any other position that feels settling and restful that you can just kind of tune into your physical body. So take a minute to get down on your mat. Let your arms land wherever feels the most comfortable, legs wherever feels the most comfortable. And then just give your spine a second to chill out on the floor. Give your mind a moment to quiet down. Give your breath a moment to slow down into a nice soft rhythm. And then once you feel like you've got that nice settling in situation, we're just going to wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. So just kind of crunch up your toes, maybe lifting the soles of the feet off your mat just a little bit so you have some freedom to move. And then just wiggle your toes, scrunch up your toes, wiggle your fingers, scrunch up your hands. Just a little bit of gentle organic movement down into those extremities. And then once you feel like you kind of get a sense of how your hands and your feet are feeling, are they cold or warm, stiff or feeling supple? There's no right or wrong, but just kind of tune in and notice. And then when you got that sense of how your hands and your feet are feeling, just let them come back to that soft, restful position. Feet soften down, hands soften down. And then see if you can just tune your awareness down to your right foot. And then see if you can just feel the floor, the mat, whatever the surface is underneath your right foot, just your right foot. See if you can tune in and notice. And then as you were paying attention to your right foot, did your right inner thigh kick on, or did you pick up a little tension through the front of your right leg? If you did, can you soften your right leg, still paying attention to that right foot? Take one more moment to notice the surface underneath your foot. And now move your awareness over to your left foot, just tuning in, noticing the left foot, specifically the bottom of the foot. Can you notice the floor underneath your foot? Then right away, notice, did you pick up that tension in your left inner thigh or through your left front pocket area? If so, can you let that area soften? Still noticing the bottom of the left foot. And now we're just going to tune into both big toes. So right big toe, left big toe, and we're going to press the pad of the big toe down into the ground. You feel the arch of your foot kind of light up. So press your big toe down into the ground. Take a breath through your nostrils, noticing the breath coming in and out. Relax that pressure in your big toe. So relax your toes, no pressing down. Take another cycle of breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Press down into the big toes, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Release the pressure of your toes, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. We're going to cycle through that one more time. So press down into your big toes, the pads of your foot press down into the earth, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And then relax that pressure on your toes and breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Nice. And then from here, just bring your hands to your belly. Nice big giant spread of the fingers. So spread your fingers as wide as you can across your abdomen. And then take a gentle breath. We're going to think about breathing into the rib cage. So we're breathing front to back, side to side into the rib cage, but allow just that little bit of weight of your hands to rest on your belly. And you're going to notice that gentle movement of breath in your abdomen. And then just kind of get a sense of how your stomach is feeling this morning, and specifically more the internal organs. So if your belly is feeling a little tender, we have a couple of belly down positions this morning. So if your belly is feeling a little tender, you'll just want to go light in those positions, or just make sure that you honor how your belly is feeling this morning. And then keep one hand on the belly, move one hand on up to the heart. Take another nice, generous breath. Take a moment to set an intention here to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, arms are going to float up into cactus or goalpost arms. Take a second to get your shoulder blades nice and arranged so everything feels like it's landing in a comfortable position. And then tune in to that little scoop of the rib cage. Did that little scoop of the rib cage kind of puff up? Did the backs of your ribs pick up off the ground? And if so, can you keep your arms in cactus, but anchor the backs of your ribs down? You might have to readjust your shoulder blades. You might have to readjust your tailbone, but can you let your back land softly on the ground? And then once you've got that soft landing, start to turn your head side to side. Does not need to be full range of motion. You can start really nice and slow and small, and then allow a little bit of warmth to come into the head and the neck, and then see if you can increase that range of motion. Take one more turn of the head side to side, and then we're going to add on. So as your head turns in one direction, your knees are going to drop in the opposite direction. Take a second to find that rhythm. And then once you've got it going on, you go as fast or as slow as feels good. And the depth of work is just whatever feels the most appropriate to you. The next time your knees drop to the right and your head turns to the left, let your knees sink all the way down. Turn your head as far as feels good. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. On your next inhale, return through center and then take it over to the other side. Knees drop to the left, head turns to the right. Let your knees sink down and then come back to that nice full breath. Inhale, fill your rib cage up. Exhale, nice and slow. On your next inhale, knees return to center, head returns to center. Let your knees drop back into that constructive rest position. And now we're gonna just start by lifting the head up like you're doing a little crunch, but just with your head, and then release your head back down. Lift your head up and release your head back down. Do that one more time. Lift your head up, release your head down. And now we're going to add on. So as you lift your head up, you're going to see if you can just slide your right hand underneath to touch that bone, the top of the spine, where the spine starts to meet the cervical spine. So think upper thoracic spine right across the shoulders, that nice protruding bone. See if you can touch that bone, and then release your hand to lower your head back down with control. And then we're going to go to the other side. Lift your head up, see if you can slide your left hand underneath and touch that bone right at the top of the spinal column where the spine meets the cervical spine. Release your head back down, release your hand, and then come back to the right. Lift your head up, reach your hand back and touch. Release your hand, lower your head. Lift your head up, left hand to touch. Release your hand, release your head. One more time through each side. You're going to lift your head. Right hand is going to reach back and touch. Release your hand, release your head. Lift your head. Left hand is going to slide under and touch. Release your hand, release your head, and then come back to some gentle head turns just to kind of soothe that out. It's a lot of work in the muscles in the neck, so just make sure everything feels good. And then let your head come to stillness. Arms are going to float up into I Dream of Jeannie arms, or that square across the chest, and just start to pull the elbows side to side. So we're pulling them across the midline of the body if we can find that range of motion. Nice. Take one more pull of the elbows side to side, and then we're going to slide the hands in like we're giving ourselves a little hug. So now our elbows are going to be stacked. Once you've got that stacked elbows, hands holding the shoulders, you're going to inhale, lift your elbows upward towards your face. Exhale and pull your elbows down toward your belly button. Inhale and lift your elbows up. Exhale and pull your elbows down. One more here. Inhale, lift your elbows up. Exhale, pull your elbows down. Take a moment to just do that inventory. Notice which elbow is on top, and then uncross your arms and then recross the other way. Once you've got your arms set up, back to that breath and movement. Inhale, lift your elbows up. Exhale, pull the elbows down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to pull down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull down. Release back out to your cactus arms. Take a second to rearrange your shoulders. And now we're going to toe heel the feet in, so feet are about hip width distance apart. With your arms in cactus, move right into a pelvic tilt. Press your low back into the ground. Release to the natural curve of your back. Press your low back into the ground. Release to the natural curve of your back. Do that one more time. Press your low back down. Release to the natural curve of your back. And now right hip point is going to lead the charge. So you're going to take your right hip point, pick it up like you're coming up for a bridge, and then right hip point is going to lower down. Once your hips touch down, right hip's going to lead again. Right hip is going to lift and lead the charge. Once you get all the way up as far as both hips go, right hip is going to lower down. Right hip lifts up. Right hip lowers down, and now we're going to switch over to the other side. So left hip point is going to lead the way, lifting upward. Left hip is going to lower down. So there's that little swivel or figure eight kind of maneuver, lifting up and lowering down. Do that one more time on the side. Left hip lifts up. Once you hit that level set, left hip lowers down. And then take a second to let your hips settle onto the ground. Pull your right knee up towards your chest. Bring the left knee into meet. So both knees in, but arms are still in that cactus or goalpost position. And then take your knees and draw them in circles. Go in one direction. Take your knees and draw them in circles. Go the other way. Beautiful. Now we're going to move right into wind relieving pose. You're going to pull your right knee into your chest. Left leg is going to extend nice and long. We're going to let that left heel hover, and then inhale, switch. Left knee into the chest. Right leg goes nice and long. Inhale to switch. Exhale as you squeeze your knee in towards your chest, and then you take this at your pace. How fast or slow you choose to go, that's totally up to you. Nice. Take one more pull of each knee. And then as you pull both knees back into your chest, you're going to start to find a little rock and roll. So we're rocking tailbone to top of head. Take a couple of good long rolls to just work the length of the spine. And then we're going to rock and roll up to a seated ragdoll position. So with the legs out in front of us, a nice generous bend in the legs. Think up and over with the belly, and then just lean your heart forward. Let your belly and chest rest on your thighs. Maybe catch hold of your feet or your shins or the floor, wherever your hands land, that's totally up to you. But then see if you can just kind of find that settling in situation. Soften through the back of your body, soften the back of your neck. Take one more breath. And then we're going to come up nice and slow and grab your TheraBand or your yoga strap, whatever it is that you're using. We're going to make a little loop, and we're going to catch hold of the bottom of the right foot. Left leg is just going to be wherever feels the best anchor for you. So you might bend it or you might straighten it. That's totally up to you. But now we're just going to take a few bends and straightens of this leg. So we're just going to allow the strap or the TheraBand to just offer you a little support in the arms, the length of your arms. And then just see if you can find that sensation of that little gentle tug in the back of the thigh. Nice. One more up and down here, and then we're going to switch over to the other leg. So you're just going to release your foot from that little loop. How you set your right leg up, totally up to you. Long or bent, that's whatever feels more secure. And then once you've got hold of that left foot, just a couple of bends and straightens of that leg. Beautiful. One more little bend and straighten of that leg. And now we're going to keep that foot secured in our loop, set it down, and see if you can slide your right leg in. So we're going to catch hold of the bottom of both feet with the bottom, with that loop, and then lean back into your sitting bones so that you can lift the heels up. And now we're going to take it into a nice little supported boat. So we're holding on nice and firm. The strap should give you a little bit of anchor. Nice tall spine, reaching out through the crown of your head. And now we're going to hold on tight. push the heels forward. So you're going to straighten your legs just as much as feels good. Hamstrings aren't totally warmed up yet. So if you keep a micro bend in the knees, that might feel really comfortable. Take one more moment just to find that bit of strength in your center. Nice. And then when you're ready, gently bend your knees, release your feet from that little loop. Just keep your strap towards the front end of your mat. We're going to swing the legs around, come into tabletop position. Once you found your tabletop position, take a second to just look at your hands, spread your fingers nice and wide. And now we're going to do wrists up. So with the fingers nice and spread, we're just going to lift the wrists away from the floor and then lower your wrists back down. Lift your wrists away from the floor, lower your wrists back down. Beautiful. One more time. Lift your wrists away from the floor, lower your wrist down, and now take it into the elbows. So we're going to bend the elbows, lower your heart down. So you're thinking about dropping your elbows down towards the ground, and then push your way back up nice and strong. Nice. Bend your elbows, lower your torso down, push into your palms, lift back up. Beautiful. One more time. Bend your elbows, lowering your elbows towards the floor, push into the palms, come back up, and now move into the scapula. Drop your chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, round the upper back body, push the floor away from you. Drop your chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, push the floor away, round your upper back. Nice. One more time through. Drop your chest, push the floor away, round the shoulders. And now we're going to wave through the spine. So you're going to tuck your chin down, soften the elbows, scoop the heart forward, wave through your spine. How far you take this motion is totally up to you. Just for the record, I project or exaggerate my movements so that it translates across the screen. Your spine does not have to wave in such an exaggerated motion. You can find really good work even if you're treating your spine gently. So you find the depth of work that feels good to you. Wonderful. Take one more wave through the spine, and then we're going to find a neutral spine. Curl both sets of toes under, and then just start to come to that butt back to the heels, shoulders back in line with the wrist. So we're just coming forward and back. Find a pace that feels good to you. Beautiful. One more forward and back, and then we're going to start to come down into a low plank. So as you bring your shoulders back in line with your wrist, release your toes, come down elbows and forearms, pause for a second to just make sure your arms feel like they're in a good solid position. And then with control, step one foot back and then the other, find that low planking position. So we don't want our butt way up in the air. You're going to start to bring your butt down, broaden your shoulders, find that strength in the upper body. Take one breath here. Beautiful. And then soften your knees down, gently lower your hips, let your toes go, take a second, shake out your butt. And now we're going to come into our tree frog pose. You can soften the position of the upper body if that helps you get there, but we're going to slide the right leg up. Now you might go tree position with the knee bent, or you might go frog position with the leg in a bit more of a 90-degree bend. That's just whatever feels more comfortable to you. Once you've got yourself here, we're going to come through that sphinx in the upper body. So press down into the elbows, pull your heart forward, squeeze between the shoulder blades, gaze forward, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. We're going to take 3 nods of the head here. So keep that nice active position with the back of the body and gently tuck your chin down and lift it up. Nice. And then once you've completed that 3rd nod of the head, we're going to keep the leg as it is, walk your elbows out nice and wide. So the upper body is now going to come like we're coming into our crocodile position. Now we're just going to take about 3 to 5 nice deep breaths here. But what we want to try to do is relax that hip crease area. So think about where that right leg is bent. Think about that hip crease. Can you relax that area? Let go. If you're holding any tension in your butt muscles, can you let your glutes relax? Let that hip crease relax. Soften your inner thigh, let your head rest down, and just take 3 more nice deep breaths here. We want to reduce as much efforting as we can. Keeping your head down if you can, we're just going to slide that right leg down nice and long towards the end of our mat. Give a second to give your butt a little wag, shake out your legs, and then we're going to move and take that tree frog pose to the other side. So we're going to slide the left leg up, 90-degree bend, or in that tree pose position. That's totally up to you. And then walk your arms back up and in. Find that sphinx position with the upper body. Once you've got it, Squeeze the shoulder, heart comes forward, reach up through the crown of your head, and then take 3 nods of the head up and down here. Lovely. Once you've completed those nods of the head, head comes to neutral. We walk the elbows wide, lower down with the upper body in that crocodile position. Soften your forehead down. Relax that left hip crease area. Relax your glutes. So if you're holding any tension in your butt muscles, let them go. Take one more breath. Lift your head up away from your hands, slide your left leg nice and long. Take a second to kind of give your hips a little wag. And now we're going to kind of roll across the body. So you're just going to slide your hands in so that you can position yourself so that you can push yourself a little side to side. So start by just finding that good hand position alongside the shoulders, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. That'll just kind of vary depending on your shoulders. Imagine you're trying to push yourself over onto the side of your body. And then the next time you find a little bit of good freedom to move or momentum, you're going to roll over to the right, all the way onto the hip, and then roll across center, roll all the way over to the left onto your hip. Nice. And now we're going to go a little further. As you go over to the right, you're going to pick yourself up and slide your right leg up and in. So we're going to get ourselves set up so that we can come into revolved head to knee pose. And I'm just going to spin myself around just so you know what I've got going on. So the leg is going to come in and the other leg is going to angle out. Once you've got that position, just check in and notice. And now we're going to bring our hands back down to the ground. Slide that right leg out and around, roll over onto your left, slide that left leg in, reposition the right. So you find that position with the legs. Nice. And then once you've got it, roll back down, slide that left leg through, come over to the right, roll all the way up. And this time we're going to add that little side bend. So once you've got your legs arranged, left hand touches the foot, right hand reaches up. Beautiful. Lift up, rolling across the belly. So we slide that right leg back and through, roll over to the left, pull that left knee up and in, rearrange your hips. And then once you've got it, add that little side bend. Beautiful. Lift up, roll across the belly. And then this time, just stay on that abdomen. Take a second, and we're just going to give it that good old shake out. So you're just going to start to let your hips, your shoulders, your butt, everything is going to get a good shake out. This is really good for the central nervous system. So if you ever need like a reset, you can just come down onto your belly and give your spine, your butt, your back a whole nice little wag. Let everything kind of just shake itself out. And then when you feel ready, push your way up to a tabletop position. Once you've got your tabletop position, take 3 cat-cows here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your back. One more time through. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your back. Find a neutral spine, curl your toes under. Exhale up to a downward facing dog and pedal out the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. Nice. Take one more pedal of each leg. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice soft ragdoll fold at the top of your mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, a super generous bend in the knees. Let your belly and chest rest on your thighs. Let your head dangle here. Take one more breath. And then if you have eyesight on your TheraBand or your yoga strap, go ahead and pick it up. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll all the way up to standing. And then right away, we're going to take that strap behind the back with as much distance between your hands so that you have freedom to move the arms away from the back of the body. Take a couple of nice little pumps of the arms. We're going to take one light fold. We're going to do the shoulder over, but we're not going to stay there very long. So take a couple of good pumps. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over, let your arms fall away from the back of the body, just so to the point where you feel you've come to your edge. And then right away, bend your knees, lift on up. Hands are going to float towards the low back, rise all the way up. Release your strap, set it down. Take a second to just get a little shrug of the shoulders. And now we're going to start to swing the arms in opposite directions of each other. So one arm forward, one arm back. Find a little bit of a pace, a little bit of a rhythm. Notice how your shoulders feel here. And now see if you can take right hand is going to go backwards the whole entire time, and then we'll switch. So see, once you feel like your right hand has reached back, now we're going to swing and circle around, and we're just going to keep going in that direction, catch a little bit of momentum. Make sure your shoulders feel safe. So as you roll through the shoulders, we want to keep our butt slightly firm so we keep the legs supported. Nice. Take one more circle through in this direction, and then we're going to come back to that gentle swing forward and back. And now the next time that left hand reaches back, we're going to circle around and then keep that momentum going and circle in this direction. Nice. Take one or two more circles through, and then let your arms float down at your sides, and then just take a second to notice. Notice that warmth, that energy up in the shoulders, up in the arms. Beautiful. And then from here, just find your mountain pose. So if you're not at the front of your mat, maybe you move yourself forward so you find that placement. And then once you're there, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back to a 90-90 low lunge. So we're going to bring the knee down, find that 90-90 squared up. Once you've got it, we're going to draw the tailbone down. So we create that space, that front pocket area. Keep your left hand on your hip, reach your right hand up. We're going to curl the tailbone down, lift the chest, lift your gaze, take a nice big breath. And then relax that position with the heart space, come back to a neutral spine, and then tip over to the left. Lovely. Lift up, float your hands down. We're going to curl the back toes under, slide that leg back so we come through our runner's lunge, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, lower gently down onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down, push your way up to a tabletop position, curl the toes under. Exhale, up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of the mat. Grab your strap, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll on up, bring that strap right behind the back, find that space that works appropriately for you. Give a couple of pumps of the arms to just make sure your arms move freely, and then bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over, let the arms fall away from the back of the body. We're going to stay here for 3 cycles of breath. Hands are going to soften towards the low back, bend your knees, lift from the crown of your head, come up nice and slow, set your strap down at your side, find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back to that 90-90 lunge. We're going to bring that knee down, find that arrangement first, lift on up, draw the tailbone down, create that space through that left front pocket area, lift your arms, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Keep that tailbone drawing down, keep your butt nice and strong, but lift your heart back to that neutral position. Right hand to the hip, tip over to the right, get that nice little side bend. Good morning, Charlie. When you're ready, release, float your hands down, take it to your runner's lunge. Curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Beautiful. Plant your palms, step back to a plank, bring your knees down, lower gently down onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down, push your way up to a tabletop position, curl the toes under. Exhale, up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Grab your yoga strap, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll on up, take that strap behind the back, find that good space so your arms can move. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over, let the arms fall away from the back of the body. Take 3 breaths here. Beautiful. Lift from the top of the head, let your hands float towards your low back, come up nice and slow and controlled. Set that strap down, find your mountain pose again. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, stepping the right leg back. Now we're going to go into that low crescent lunge. So we're going to step the foot further back, bring the knee down, toes tucked to release. That's totally up to you. Inhale and lift your heart up. Reach through the arms, sink your hips forward, gaze up towards the ceiling. Release your hands down, plant your palms, pick that back knee up. Beautiful. Plant the palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, lower gently down onto your belly. And now we're going to do that roll over onto the side. So we're going to push ourselves over to the right. Sit yourself up as you slide that right knee in so you get set up for that revolved head to knee pose. Once you've got your legs there, left hand's going to reach towards your left big toe. Right hand's going to reach up, take that nice big side bend. Lift up with control. Right hand's going to plant down, and this is where we're going to do that little sweep. So if you want to cushion that right knee, that's the place to do. Sweep the arm up, lift your hips, reach through that left toe, reach through the left hand, and then release yourself back down. And now we're going to slowly roll back onto the belly. So hands are going to find the mat in front of you. You're going to slide that right leg back. Take a second as you roll over and across. Take it over to the left. Roll onto that left side. Slide that left knee in. Extend the right leg out. Right hand's going to touch down to that toe. Left hand's going to reach up. Beautiful. Lift up with control. Left hand's going to touch down to the ground. Now, if you want to cushion that left knee, put your cushion underneath. And then when you're ready, we sweep up, lifting the hips, reaching through that right foot, reaching through that right hand. Beautiful. With control, sweep everything down. Hands are going to find that front of the mat. We're going to roll onto the belly as we slide that left leg back nice and long. Once you found that belly down position, give your tail a little wag. Take one low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down, push your way up to a tabletop position, curl the toes under. Exhale, up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Grab your yoga strap, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up nice and slow. And now we're going to take that strap long down the spine. So we're going to take it in the right hand. It's going to lengthen down the spine. Left hand is going to grab behind. So we're getting that cow face reach. So once you've got that little grab of the strap, walk your hands as close together as feels good. Hang out there for a second. Just kind of notice your triceps, notice your shoulders, notice your breath. Super. And now we're going to take 3 pulls with the top arm. So we're just going to invite a little strength. Left hand's going to hold on tight, and you're just going to pull gently upward with the right hand. And then hold on tight with the right hand, pull gently down with the left. Nice. And now pull both hands away from each other. You might not get much movement, but we want to just feel those arms kick on. And then relax that position. Bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over. One more breath. Bend your knees, lift from that right top elbow, come up nice and slow and controlled. Release your grip. Take a second, shrug your shoulders out, but now we're going to do that to the other side. So left hand is going to grab this strap. It's going to go down the length of the spine. Right hand is going to reach behind. Creep your hands together so you get a good, nice grip. You're feeling a little sensation, maybe the left tricep, maybe the left shoulder. Make sure everything feels good. And then once you feel like you found that little bit of sensation, we're going to do 3 pulls upward. So left hand is going to pull, 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 and then keep the left hand steady and the right hand is going to pull down, down, down. Nice. And now both hands are going to pull away from each other. And then when you're ready, relax, release that pulling sensation, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold over. Beautiful. Bend your knees, lift from the top of your head, come up nice and slow, release your grip from your strap, release your arms, set your strap down, give everything a good shake out, and then find your mountain pose at the top of the mat. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward, arms anchored at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, low lunge, bring the knee down, toes tucked or release, totally up to you. Inhale, lift your arms up. Beautiful. Float your hands down, frame that front foot, curl the back toes under, pick that back knee up so you come through runner's lunge, plant your palms, step back to plank. Bring your knees down, lower gently onto your belly. Inhale up for a low cobra. Exhale to lower down. And now we're going to do that little roll over to the right. So roll over to the right as you pull that right knee up and in. Left leg extends out. Get your legs arranged. Left hand to that left big toe. Right hand reaches up. Take that nice big side bend. Come up with control. Cushion that right knee if you want that little extra. And then when you're ready, sweeping up, lifting the hips, lifting up through that left hand. Lovely. Release with control. Hands are going to find the front of the mat. Roll onto the belly. Slide that right leg back and then roll all the way over and across to the other side. Slide that left leg in. Rearrange that right leg. Once you've got your legs situated, right big toe, left hand reaches up. Lovely. Lift up with control. Left hand touches down, and then we take that big sweep. Cushion that left knee if that needs it. When you're ready, lift up, sweep the arms, reach through the side of the body. Beautiful. Slowly and mindfully lower it down. Hands are going to find that front of the mat. Sweep yourself down so that you slide that right leg back. Take a second, give everything a little shimmy shake. Push your way up to a tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, grab your strap, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. Now we are going to come to a little balance here. So if you like to step off your mat, you might take a second to do that. But we're going to take a little loop of our strap and catch hold of the bottom of the right foot. Once you've got hold of the bottom of the foot, I don't care how high it goes, more working on control here. So we're just going to lengthen the foot out, bend and bring it back in. Lengthen the foot out, bend and bring it back in. Lengthen the foot, stay there, find just a little bit of balance. Beautiful. Bend that knee, release your foot from the loop, set it down, shake out your hips, and we're going to take it right to the other side. So we're going to step the left foot in, catch hold of the foot with a little bit of pressure on that strap. You push the foot forward, bend and bring it back in. Push the foot forward, bend and bring it back in. Do that one more time. Push the foot forward, hold it there for an extra second. Bend that leg, release your foot, set your foot down, set your strap off to the side. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, crescent lunge. Knee is going to be lifted, heel is going to be lifted. We find that strength in our legs first. Inhale, reach your arms up. Beautiful. Float your hands down, frame the front foot, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control onto your belly. Inhale up to cobra just as high as you like. Exhale to lower down, roll over to the right. Slide that right leg in. Find that revolve head to knee pose position. Left hand to that left foot. Right hand reaches up. Lift up. Cushion that right knee if you like to. Right hand plants down. Left hand sweeps up. Lift the hips. Lifting upward. Take a nice big reach. And then when you're ready, release. Sweep the hands in front. Slide that right leg back. Roll across the belly over to the other side. Slide that left knee in. Rearrange that right leg, right hand to the big toe, left hand reaches up. Beautiful. Lift up with control. Left hand touches down. Cushion that left knee if you like. Sweep the right hand up. Take that nice big length through the side of the body. Lovely. Swim it around and down. Hands find the front of the mat. Roll back onto that belly as we slide that left leg back. Take a second. Give your butt a little shake out. And then we're going to power up to a plank. If you're not feeling a plank this morning, just take it up to a tabletop position. But if it feels good, curl the toes under. Push your way up nice and strong. Awesome. Take it up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, left leg back, crescent lunge. We keep the heel lifted, knee lifted. See how it feels. Find that strength in your legs. Lift your arms up. And then if it feels good, sweep the arms up. Beautiful. Float those hands down. Frame your front foot. Plant your palms. Step back to plank. Bring the knees down. Rotate the eyes of the elbows. Lower with control onto your belly. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale to lower down. Either, oh, no, take it down onto your belly. I'm sorry, we're rolling across the belly. Roll over to the right, slide that right knee in, left leg goes out long. Take it into that revolved head to knee pose. Left hand to the toe, right hand reaches up. Nice, lift up, cushion the knee, sweeping upward. Lift the hips, lengthen through the side of the body. Beautiful, lower yourself down with control. Hands are gonna find that front end of the mat as we slide the right leg back, roll all the way over and across. Sliding that left leg in, extending the right leg, readjust as needed. Right hand to that big toe, left hand reaches up. Awesome, release, left hand down, cushion that left knee if you like, sweeping up. Nice, and then when you're ready, releasing down, hands find the front end of the mat. We slide that right leg back, take a second, give everything a little shimmy shake, and then we're powering up to a plank. You can take it to table if that feels better for you. Find your strength. Once you're there, take it up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. We're going to roll down into our little ball of yarn. So bend your knees, pick up your heels, roll down into that little ball. And then once you're there, take it right into your seated cobbler's pose. Sit your butt down, bring the soles of the feet together, grab hold of your toes, find that nice tall spine, and then just lean your heart forward just as far as feels good, a little sensation, inner thigh, groin, or outer edges of the hip. And then once you found a little bit of sensation, just take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Lift up through the top of your head, let your heart follow, come up nice and slow. We're gonna help those knees come together. We're gonna scooch the butt back, legs are gonna go nice and long, but you're gonna grab your strap and take it with you. We're gonna take our strap and loop it underneath both feet. And then once you've got it looped underneath both feet, extend your legs as long as you can. And we want a little action in our feet. So keep your feet kind of solid and strong. We're gonna pull against that strap so we get a little tension on. Legs are fairly straight, feet are fairly flexed, nice tall lifted spine. Now we're going to use the strength in our arms and our elbows. So you're going to pull gently into the strap, but keep that nice long spine. So the second you feel any sensation in the backs of your legs, that little tender stretch or that little stress, once you feel it, that's where you're going to stop. So you don't need to go very far to get good sensation. Nice and strong, still pulling on the strap, keeping the feet as flexed as you can. Take one more breath. And then lift up nice and slow and controlled. We're going to soften those knees just a little bit. Keep your right foot in the strap, release your left foot. Once you've got it, we're going to lift the right leg up just as high as feels good to you. You can micro bend the knee, especially if you have super tight hamstrings and you feel that like sensation into your glutes. We want to avoid that sensation. We want to feel a little stretch in the back of the thigh. One more breath. And then when you're ready, with control, gently release that leg down, unloop it from your strap, pick up the other foot. And then once you've got the other foot, lift it up. Just as high as feels good to you. Keep a micro bend in the knee, especially if you have tight hamstrings. Nice. And then when you're ready, with control, release that foot down. Now keep that foot in your loop. Bring the other foot into the loop, and then we're going to take it back into our supported boat. So we're going to pull the legs in, find that nice supported boat position. Now you can stick with bent knees. That might feel really good. You might have good strength here, but if it feels good and you want just that little extra something, straighten your legs just as much as feels good, but keep that nice bit of tension so you get that feedback, staying nice and strong through the spine, finding a little bit of balance. Take one more breath. Lovely. When you're ready, gently bend your knees, soften your feet down, release your feet from that loop. Keep it up towards the front end of your mat so that you'll be able to access it when we come on down. So come down onto your back, take a second to find your way down. And then once you found your way down, just give your spine a moment here. Let your spine relax on the ground. We did a lot of side bending today, so we just give it a second. Take one more moment. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the right leg across the left into a figure 4 situation. Right hand is going to just gently press into the inner thigh, finding a little space and opening through that hip crease and that front hip pocket area. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release your hand from the inner thigh. Pick your left leg up, thread your hands through. Hold the back of the thigh or the top of the shin. That's just whatever feels the most comfortable. Bring it in for a gentle squeeze. We're just going to stay here for one cycle of breath. So take your nice gentle inhale. Exhale, soften your shoulders. And then with control, release, step your right foot off, step your left foot across, left hand to the inner thigh, gently push the thigh open, just to a point where you feel that little bit of sensation in that left hip crease area. Make sure it's a good sensation. And then when you're ready, release your hand, lift your right leg up, thread your hands through, get the handhold that works good for you. Draw it in, and then just take one cycle of breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, release, step your left foot off the right, grab your TheraBand or your yoga strap. We're going to catch hold of the bottom of the right foot, extending the right leg up towards the ceiling. And then the left leg is just going to be whatever feels more secure and anchored. So for some of us, it might feel better to keep the leg bent. And for some of us, it might feel better to let the leg go long. You choose your own adventure there. Once you've got your legs in a position that you like, we're going to hold on to both ends of the strap with the right hand. So same hand, same foot. Left hand is going to come out like a little bit of an anchor, and we're just going to start to swing that leg across the midline of the body. So bring it over to the left and over to the right, just as far as feels good to you. And now the next time you take it out to the right, you're going to let it come out as far and wide as feels good. You can externally rotate the foot so you get a little bit more space in the hip if that feels right to you. Take one more breath. Use a little tug on that strap to pull the leg back to center. And now we're going to keep that foot in the loop. Send the left leg up to meet. Step your left foot into the loop. Release your right foot. You might go right knee bent. You might go right leg long. That's totally up to you. Once you've got your legs arranged, hold on to the both ends of your strap with your left hand. Right hand comes out like an anchor. And now we're just swinging that left leg from side to side. Awesome. Now, the next time the leg comes out to the left, let it come out as far as feels good. One side might look totally different than the other. So don't feel like you have to meet some sort of guideline of symmetry. Just let your body be like it is. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, bring that leg back in. We're going to release our foot from that strap, set your strap off to the side. We are done with it for now. Take a second to release your legs nice and long, and then just give everything a little wiggle and a shape. Wiggle out your legs, bounce out your knees, shake out your hips, make sure everything feels good. And then we're going to move into supine twist. So we're going to pull the right knee into the chest, just as far as feels good. I like the knee up to the chest, and that kind of scoops around that sciatic nerve. But for some of us, it might feel better to keep the knee in line with the hip. So you always have those little subtle variations. Always want to play around with what feels right in your body. Take that right knee over and across the body. Right arm opens out nice and wide. Head turns to the right if that feels good. Take one more breath. When you're ready, pull the right knee into your chest, bring your left knee into meet, one light little squeeze, and then hold onto your left knee, let the right leg go nice and long. And then you're set up for your supine twist the other side. So you can keep the knee in the chest and bring it over and across, or maybe you bring it in line with the hip and bring it over and across. That's totally up to you. And then once you've found your way there, left arm opens wide, head turns to the left if that feels good. When you're ready, pull the left knee into your chest, bring the right knee into meet, both legs get a little squeeze, and then we're gonna set our feet down, setting up for a bridge position. So set your feet down with the knees bent, heels fairly close to the butt, hands alongside the hips. We're gonna come up into that halfway bridge. So we're gonna exhale and lift up. Think about anchoring the backs of your ribs on the ground, backs of the arms, tops of the shoulders. Reach your knees towards your toes. Find that nice lighting up through the tops of the thighs and those front pocket areas. And then once you feel ready, lower your hips back down, soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. So into that reclined butterfly position. Once you've got your way here, hands are going to just rest gently on the inner thighs. So we're not trying to push the thighs down, but let that little tiny bit of weight rest on your thighs. Take one good breath. Release your hands. Knees are going to come together, knees together, inner thighs together, big toes together. Push your knees in towards each other and hold that active, strong position. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that position. Step your feet so they're about hip width distance apart. Back to that hip bridge. Exhale, lift up. This time, hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower with control. We're going to slide the right leg nice and long. And now you can choose to prop yourself up onto your elbows and forearms here, or you can stay in this lying down position. That'll be totally up to you. But we're going to lift the right leg up to knee height. So we're going to lift it up so it lines up with that left knee. Hold it there for a moment, and then slow motion, you're going to lower the heel back down, but let the heel hover. So try not to let the heel touch the ground. Once you've got that heel hover position, lift the right leg back up. So we're lining up one knee with the other. Once you found that alignment, hold it there for a moment, and then slow motion, lower the leg back down, but let the heel hover. We're going to do that one more time. Lift the right leg up, find that knee to knee alignment, hold it there for a moment, and then slow motion, lower that leg down. This time, let the heel touch down to the ground, slide that foot in, and we're going to go to the other side. So the left leg is going to slide out nice and long. Lift the leg up, left knee in line with the right knee. Once you found that position, hold it for a second, and then lower nice and slow motion. Heel is going to hover above the ground. Once you found that heel hover, back up to that lift. Lift the knee up so it lines up with the right knee. Hold it there for a moment. Slow motion, lower the leg back down. Heel is going to hover. Hold that hover for a moment, and then back up, lifting the leg up so that the knee lines up with the knee. Once you've got that alignment, hold it there for a moment. Nice, and then slow motion, lower it all the way down. This time we're going to let the heel touch down to the ground. Slide that leg in and then toe heel your feet back out and take some gentle windshield wipers here. Just kind of soothe that all out. That's a nice bit of muscle work, helps strengthen and control those hip flexor muscles, but it does get a little tense sometimes. So just kind of loosen it up, let go of anything you may have come across. Awesome. And then one more windshield wiper each side. We're going to pick the legs up to that reverse tabletop. So we're going to lift the legs up to that 90-90. And once you've got it, left hand on top, right hand on bottom. So right hand's going to hold the back of the thigh. Left hand is going to push into the top of the knee, and we're going to opposite push pull. So we're going to push the left hand down. The left knee is going to push into the hand. We're going to push the right thigh down, and the hand is going to resist. So find that strength and resistance, getting that opposite push pull. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and switch. Right hand on top, left hand underneath. Find your hand hold position and then get that opposite push pull. So the right knee pushes into the right hand, the left thigh pushes down into the left hand. Find that resistance and hold it there nice and strong for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release your feet down, and then start to ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to come to constructive rest, especially after all that work we just did there in the hips? It might feel good to just find that little softening and letting go. Maybe you take that more traditional shape, or maybe you want a little bit more opening through the hips and come into reclined cobbler's pose. And I always like to say that in Shavasana, if you're taking that reclined cobbler's pose, if you can tuck some pillows underneath your thighs to give it some support, that's a really nice way to just keep the SI nice and protected so we're not pulling against it too much. So find the position of your body that feels right. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, start to gently reawaken the body. Maybe start with just moving the fingers and the toes. And then move into those outer edges of your limbs. Move your wrists, move your ankles, gently move your elbows, move your knees. And any other little bit of movement here that reawakens your body and feels nice. And then if it feels really great to do so, we're going to start by just stretching our arms up and overhead, like you're setting up for your big good morning stretch, but now we're going to go opposite hand, opposite foot. So right hand and left leg are just going to reach out and away from each other, like you're just kind of giving yourself a little sideways pull. And then when you're ready, release, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So left hand and right leg are going to reach out and away from each other. Get that little stretch and pull. And then when you're ready, release. And now we're going to go both arms, both legs. So just that big good morning stretch. Reach out and away from each other. Make that nice little starfish shape with the body. Take a nice big breath in. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release and find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Once you found your way up to that comfortable seated position, pick your dominant hand or just whatever hand you like the best, but we're going to curl the fingers in like you're making a little tiger paw. And then we're going to take that little tiger paw and we're going to rub it in circles around the chest. It should be a gentle maneuver. So just make sure that you're not catching too much skin or injuring yourself. We want to create a little bit of warmth and gentle sensation. And then if it feels good to do so, close your eyes down, just drawing those circles for a few more moments. You can keep going in one direction, but if it feels good and you like just to like switch it up, you can circle in the other direction as well. And then let that come to stillness. And we're going to take 3 thumps. So we're just going to use that little tiger ball and take 3 thumps to the heart. And then release your hands and just stack your hands right on top of your heart. Take a nice deep breath in, breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Take another nice breath in and allow the shoulders to lift a little bit, maybe create a little bit of tension in your face and your neck and your shoulders. And then as you exhale, let your shoulders soften, let your heart space soften, let your face soften. And think about letting go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you through the rest of your day. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy, happy Thursday.